Boom. Right. Yes. Thank you very much, Nimai, for joining this interview, dude. Really appreciate you, sharing your thoughts and ideas, and just for obviously joining and having a nice little catch up this time, man. It's been a while. I know we spoke a bit last week, and it was good catching up. But thank you for joining me for this, I guess, interview, really, or whatever the hell it is. Who knows yet?
It's my pleasure, Joel. Thank you for having me on. It's always good to talk to you, and looking forward to this interview.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. No. What? I guess we could start. What you've been doing. Over the past few weeks. How you been keeping? You've been doing all right. Because it's been 2020's been a hell of a ride, man. God damn.
Yeah, just been working in the studio. Obviously, no live gigs, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, just making music, putting the final touches on a couple of tracks before release, and yeah, what else to do in these times? It's time to be creative in the studio, so that's what I've been trying to do.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to it's been almost like a godsend for a lot of producers, where it's just like, now I've got some, time to be in the studio, just throw some ideas together. But look, we're recording this, what's the day? Saturday, 22nd. And I've actually just come back from the jazz club. It was like their first day opening. So I want to jump right in, just be like, how crazy it's been for the music industry, over the last 6 months. I mean, just being there earlier, it's been such a pleasure to be out in a live music venue again. And I know you host your own live music concerts and everything, so I guess just to get your thoughts on how that's been, and how you've been able to in a sense adapt a little bit.
So that's great that you say you saw some live music. I was in the car earlier, saw also, I think, some jazz music playing outside, so that was actually the first live music I've seen happen since coronavirus lockdown, since March. So that was very nice to see. How am I adapting? I guess everyone's going to have to adapt, whether it's going to be the social distancing, which I'm not keen of, but yeah, the social distancing, and just venues and promoters being responsible operators, and having sanitization stations and whatever safeguards necessary to reduce the transmission rate, I suppose. We just have to adapt, and some live music is better than nothing.
Oh, 100%. Are you working on any future events? Do you have anything planned?
Sure. I've got shows that I'm promoting taking place from October onwards. So if shows do happen in October, that'll be amazing, and those shows will be great. Having said that, in terms of playing at psytrance parties, I've got nothing booked in as of yet. Been a couple of live streams. Everyone's seen the live streaming. So I am aware that there has been parties happening in some places in Germany. Friends of mine have been telling me. And of course, in the UK, there have been underground parties actually, where people have just been gathering anyway. So things are moving forward slowly but surely.
That's good to see. It's kind of like I guess you could say the light. You're seeing a little bit of a light at the end of this crazy ass tunnel.
Indeed.
You mentioned live streams. You said you played a few, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I did one live stream for Masters of Puppets Festival. That was enjoyable, and yeah, it was nice because I got to use the synths I have in the studio.
Right.
That I don't usually get the chance to take out with me when I go and play a gig. So it was nice to use those. Obviously, it wasn't the same as actually being at an event and getting the energy from the crowd and everyone together enjoying. But people were communicating in the comments or whatever, so it did feel that some kind of connection.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, did you feel any sense of like, I'm DJing, I'm performing to a bunch of people? Did you feel a sense of community, I guess? You know, because it's nice to see these people, you know, doing this and hosting these events to create this community and keep the community alive. But as a performer, did you feel much of that?
I felt the full force of gifts, one after the other. So many gifts in really quick succession from a multitude of users constantly. Gifts,
that's brilliant,
gifts and gifts. Occasionally a little bit of text, say nice lead or whatever. And
I wasn't expecting that.
The rest was just lots of gifts. So people like gifts.
Bring on the gifts, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, I suppose you must have loved and really enjoyed playing around with your synths during a live set. Has there been any other times that you've done it? Because I mean that's a fantastic, you know, way of presenting your music, isn't it?
Yeah, it was nice for people to be able to see the place where I'm producing the music and playing a live set from, you know, the same studio that you see here. And yeah, I mean, I usually, when I was playing gigs internationally, I would still have, you know, software synths in a live set anyway, but I didn't really bring any hardware with me, so as I said, it was nice to play around with it.
Nice, dude. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, I'm sure you have a lot of fun anyway when you're making your music and everything like that. What's you know, what's your, I guess, your thoughts on this year alone? If you could put it into one word, you know, what would you say like 2020, you know, has been, you know, for the general public or for us in you know, as a society?
Well, disaster.
Aye, man. Yeah. You can't even, you know, sugarcoat that, man. It's been like a whole complete downfall of society, just this whole breaking apart of the economy, you know. But I guess to be cheesy a little bit, you know, how do they say it? Everything has to fall apart for something, you know, new to take place, and it's this whole new world order. What do you see going forward in terms of the event industry?
So what I said is just down to promoters being responsible operators with the permission of the government for events to run at the, you know, full capacity of the particular venue or festival.
Okay.
So that would be ideal, really, to run at full capacity, and things could go back to the way that they were. That would be ideal.
Fingers crossed. Didn't you tell me that your venue that you use, you've just increased? So now the capacity is a lot more? Am I correct in saying that?
Which venues do you refer to?
Isn't it the one down in London? I want to say Wembley.
So in terms of changes in capacity, it doesn't, you know, the venues, as far as I'm aware, haven't really been informed as to, you know, how much the capacities will be reduced if they are allowed to reopen and go ahead. So at this stage, I just don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty, I suppose. But you said that you got a few gigs planned for October. That's
sure.
I guarantee you. No, I guarantee you. Yeah, I guarantee you they're gonna go through, man. I've just seen the world, you know, how it's moving forward, and it seems like a lot of things are trying to get back to normality. But as you're saying, as long as we follow these, you know, guidelines, things will start getting on track a lot sooner, hopefully. I mean, are you looking forward to being back, you know, gigging and touring?
Absolutely. If there's one thing I missed, it's been going to live music. Live music is a really big part of my life. In terms of work, in terms of entertainment, it was, you know, the main thing. And while all the other industries open, live music has been left behind, and, you know, very good production company, Matt Snowball. You know, we hired a lot of backline from them. They went out of business.
Wow.
Production firm in London, you know, I guess because there's no live events, they got no business. So whatever businesses survive through this will be operating again, and looking forward to it. I bet.
Hell yeah! No, I was chatting to the owner of the jazz club, you know, a couple hours ago. He was just talking about, you know, the artists. What was it called? The Arts Council.
The Arts Council, yeah.
The Arts Council, and how the whole process of getting these the funding from the government and such is such a long and arduous process, and the questions they ask you it's really, really insane. But like you said, those that will survive, hopefully will be able to bring the full force of the music industry back, because I believe that it's an integral part to human society. Music and just playing live gigs anyway. I'm sure you can agree on that.
It sure is. Yeah, we need this. We need a sense of community. We need to gather as humans have done for thousands of years, all gather together and enjoy and experience together with music, and something I think is very important.
Yeah. What was your initial, I guess, intention when setting up this, events, company or this promotion company that you do?
Well, started doing this 2005. I was 16 years old, and I wanted to book my own band. I just, I wanted a gig for my own band, so I hired the venue and promoted the gig, booked it out, and then from then onwards, started booking other bands and just, scaled it up gradually, I guess.
Wow. You're making it sound a lot easier than it is. I mean, well, I don't know, maybe it is that easy. I've never really tried, but
it is.
Is it that easy? You're just like, yo, do you want to come play for me? Yeah, man. Sick. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have shows that win, shows that lose.
For sure.
You always learn a lot more when things go wrong than when they go right.
True.
So it's all character building.
Hey, man. Amen to that. Jesus. Any failure is a bit of a character building kind of scenario. But no, it must have been fun. It must have been I guess in the beginning stages of doing it, I'm sure you didn't really know what you were doing. You were just like, kind of, I want to book a band.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you just kept learning throughout the years. Do you have any memorable fails? I suppose that's Well, let's not call it fails, because that's but.
Yeah, sure. So I had an instance once, and I put on this band. I won't name them.
Sure.
They're a UK metal band. I think they were playing their first gig in London in over maybe 10 years, maybe longer. I'm not sure. Anyways, so I booked them. They sound checked. Everything kind of went fine.
Yeah.
And then the frontman of the band, he basically took his sword and left the venue. Never to return, directly after sound check. As you can imagine, he had over 100 people who'd bought tickets to see this band, and the singer had just left without saying anything to anybody. So then we had a situation where the singers from the support bands who were playing prior to them had to step in, and luckily some of them knew the lyrics, some of the songs, so they'd step in and sing the lyrics on top of it. So it was definitely a bizarre kind of gig. Another experience. I don't know, this band I will mention because it's band called Puddle and Mud. Don't know if anyone heard of them. I booked them, and they just did not turn up. And of course, had like 600 people in the venue. And what happened was the singer couldn't miss a court date, otherwise he would have gone to jail. So so I had to go on stage and tell everybody that the band couldn't make it. But then we rescheduled them a little bit of time later, and then they came and then they did the set. But yeah, it was a crazy show. So yeah, a few examples of when things go wrong.
Sure.
I can tell you plenty of instances where the transport breaks down and or arrives completely late. Things change constantly, and you just have to adapt to whatever happens.
Oh yeah, I mean, as we've been saying, I'm kind of thinking like, those kind of instances, such as transport breaking down, everything. I kind of hope those instances return, because then it kind of shows a return to normality, if you get what I'm saying, rather than like everything going digital and everything going virtual and then kind of staying that way. I mean, we really don't want that, But in terms of like, you know, all these failures, all these instances of like kind of challenges that you've had to overcome, what kind of kept the driving force of keep wanting to do it?